Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at our 34th greatest move of all time. We are looking at a game from 1956 between Tau as the white pieces and Simagin with the black pieces. This is like I said, our 34th greatest move on our march to the greatest move in chess history, which we will get to in, I don't know, a couple weeks probably. When the pieces stop moving, we're at the key position. We like to examine the game and see how it got to that point. So we're already there. So in this position, pause the game, take a second, and try to figure out what would be a interesting move to make. There's a lot of options, right? The queen, you know, can go here with a check, can go here with a check. The rook can try and get involved. So there's a couple of options that would be normal moves in this position, but then they wouldn't be the 34th greatest move of all time. So write in the comments what you think it is and pause the video. Otherwise, we'll take a look at it. And in this position, Tau plays the very quiet but very spectacular rook to b1, threatening the black queen. So what does black do about that threat? We'll see what happened in the game, and then we'll talk about some other variations that black could have pursued. So in the game, black says, hey, rook, I'll take it, thank you very much. Takes, and then now we go check to c4. The idea is we're going to try to drive this black king onto a dark square, which he now has to go to because this rook has that file cut off. Can't stay on the light squares. Knight's blocking this other light square, so he's going to a dark square, and when he does, the big check with the bishop and a discovered attack on the queen. So the king gets out of the way, queen gets taken by the rook, the bishop gets taken, and then it looks like this is going to be a tough finish because so queen is about equal to both rooks, and then the knight and the bishop are better than the rook. So white looks to be down, but then he makes this threat, which is a threat against the bishop and the pawn on b7, a double attack. When black saves his bishop, white comes crashing in, and now it's going to be gobbling up pieces and keeping that king in check. So check, knight takes, check, king moves, check on b3, king moves, check, 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 check. Okay, and then queen takes on e5, so that was the first non-check in, I don't know, about 10 moves or something. So that gets the position, or sorry, gets the material a little bit more equal here. And then now we're going to see how white finishes it off. Moves his king up the board and then sacrifices the rook so that he can then take the bishop. I don't know why that was necessary other than it looked cool, but whatever. Not my game. Rook stabilizes the middle of the board, keeps his rooks protecting each other, but that drops another pawn. And so now it's a queen versus two rooks, which again is about equal, but white has 3 extra pawns. So then at this point, this a pawn is a passed pawn, and the passed pawns must be pushed. So here comes the a pawn. Gets the queen out of the way so he can continue pushing that pawn. And then in this position, I mean, black really just doesn't have much to do. The king is out, sort of in the middle of the board, at least a couple rows up. But these rooks cannot get to him in any meaningful way. So queen check, and I will sacrifice the queen on the rook because, well, once that queen gets taken, white is simply going to promote to another queen and then be up a queen to the rook, and then that's an easy victory. So we are going to go back to when the rook goes to b1 and see what else black could have done. It's quite a long ways back. Okay, so in the position, rook to b1, we're saying that the queen is being attacked. So let's say that instead of taking the rook, the queen decides to go to, let's just say, I don't know, let's say a5. So you can see the evaluation bar, that's worse for black. So I think the idea here would be check, and then white has to go a couple of options. Let's say that white goes back, black goes back, and then you can come crashing in with the rook. And you can see how this queen and this rook are attacking this knight. That's going to be dangerous. You can protect it, but then eventually this rook is going to come in and it's going to be a big problem. So another option, instead of going queen to a5, maybe the queen goes back to c7 to protect the b7 square. But in this situation, I think we like, is it still the same check? No, not as good. 2.5. How about this? Oh, no, that's a terrible move. Why? Eesh. I'm not sure why that's such a bad move. Is it this check? No, it's not a check with the queen. Oh, how about this? Yeah, okay. Bishop to f4. Interesting. This pawn is pinned down because of the queen attack, so it's not a check, so black can make some other move. Let's say that he brings the other bishop in. Oh, that's not good. So now we come in for the check. Yeah, now we come in for the check. And then this bishop actually cuts off a square from the king. Let's say he backs up again. Oh, and now you're dropping that. Yeah, and it's all over but the crying. So that was if black tried to bring the queen to c7. And I'm sure, since this rook to b1 move is not a check, that leaves a lot of moves for black. But he has to be very precise here because white does have the rook and the queen headed up towards the king. So that was our 34th greatest move. Not a check, not a attack against the king, but it does make it so that black has lots of problems in the position. So if you like that move, if you learned something, then like and subscribe to our videos and check out more in this series down that way. Thanks for watching.